Got it. Just in time for Momiji's message to be lost to time, so nobody knows what she's telling me. My ear is itchy. That's what my body's telling me. All right. You ready, Chot? Doll Judgment. Sit back, relax, and let's read. Good morning to you, Lady Hinanai. Morning, Iku. You seem rather crestfallen today, quite unlike the young heirs of the Hinanai clan I am used to. How couldn't I be, after what happened just before my eyes yesterday? Oh, is that all? What? Why are you acting like there's nothing wrong? Miss Alice has not yet been proven guilty, has she? Then there is still time to set everything right, but that will depend on you, Lady Hinanai. You will be greeting... Oh, sorry. You will be getting it all back, so what reason have you to be sitting here and moping about? Iku. Let us be off, Lady Hinanai. Our true battle is still yet to come. I suppose so. I still think yesterday's trial was far too long to be treated as a mere prologue. Isn't this weekend Evo? Or is that next weekend? Seriously, I'm actually unsure about this. But I haven't been defeated yet. Quite right. The key to reaching one's goals is to never give up. Well, there might be some truth to that. Evo's next weekend. It's not this weekend. Okay. All right. That'll be... Okay, well... Hopefully I can do everything I need to do. But yeah, like I said earlier, chat, I know I just came back from a small break, but I will be taking a more extensive break once I get everything together for my next video, because I have to do all of that, and it's gonna be, you know, a bit of a crunch hour, is all. I must say, you were truly splendid last night. You performed so admirably, I could hardly believe it was your first time. Having you praise me like this doesn't feel right. Oh, does it displease you? When it's you saying it, I can't take it at face value. Truly, I had thought myself a rather straight-talking person. Well, that might be right, in a sense. Still, no matter how you may feel about it, these were my honest impressions. In fact, having also been both defendant and prosecutor, you must understand these trials better than most. Even so, the defense has it harder than I expected. Miss Shomeimaru's ongoing string of successes is only more impressive for it, wouldn't you say? That's true. Everybody loves the Tengu. They love Aya. Alright, so let's all get a refresher here for a second. So we have Alice's scarf with blood on it. She got broken into. She lost it all. Currently, we're investigating a crime that happened at the Sanzu River because we established Alice's alibi for one crime would put her in the location of another crime. Which, actually, if you didn't know, is a similar plot line to one of the Phoenix Wright games. Yeah. Ah, you came. What? Did you not want me to come see you? No, it's not like that. I only worried what kind of face I should greet you with when you did come. Any face is fine if it's yours. Well, it was always going to be my face. Now, Alice, isn't there something you have to say to me before we can continue? There's no getting around it, is there? Of course not. I understand. I'm sorry I kept secrets from you. Hey, is that it? That's it? You're awful. The truth. For now, I need you to tell me absolutely everything you've been hiding from me. Right. Where should I start? Wait. Is there really that much? To begin with, I was lying when I testified I wandered through the whole of Gensokyo yesterday morning. The truth was that I went straight to the Sanzu River, and then I returned home. Then you never investigated any other place besides the Sanzu's riverbank. That's the gist of it. Then why didn't you just say that in your testimony? Because I knew this would happen. The Sanzu is very rarely visited by anyone. Then you knew of this other incident already, miss. Yes, the air there was thick with tension, and I gathered there's something serious had happened by eavesdropping on the Shinigami. I knew it would end badly if I was caught there, so I ran away without being seen. And why did you just stroll over to that dismal place in the first place? Because I was following the trail of my stolen dolls. My dolls always have a bit of my magic clinging to them, so I can trace their whereabouts if I want to. And you traced them to the Sanzu River. Right. But before I could even make it to the riverbank, that metaphorical thread snapped. It snapped. Yes, somehow another will took control of the dolls, and those signs I was following disappeared. What do you mean when you say another will? The simplest way I can put it is that someone other than me began manipulating the dolls. Anyway, these dolls were suddenly lost to me. In other words, the dolls were taken over. Exactly, I still wonder what it could have been. What in the world are we dealing with here? We're dealing with a girl who plays with dolls. And after these dolls were cut off from you, you could no longer tell their whereabouts. Correct. With that, my only clue was gone. And in the end, I could not find them. But what happened to Adasanzu that morning? What happened? Forgive me, Tenshi, for I have sinned. I told you I would believe in you, but that was just another lie. I was afraid I would be accused, so I hid facts from you, even though I promised you I'd tell the whole truth. I couldn't live up to the faith you put in me. I'm truly sorry. Well, considering what you must have been feeling, it's no wonder you tried to hide this. But it hurts a little to hear it. The young heiress could be quite naive and innocent in her own way, as you can see. Yes, it was wrong of me. Then Alice, can you trust me as your lawyer from now on? I like this pose, this juxtaposition to Tenshi's attitude, this pose. And trust everything to me this time, and just rely on me to defend you. Will you think of it like that? You hid the truth from me because you couldn't bring yourself to leave it all in my hands, didn't you? Even if it had been I in your place, I know I would have acted no different. So that's why I should be the one doing the pleading. Will you really defend a liar like me to the very end? I can't answer that question until you answer mine. You really are stubborn. I will trust you with my defense. This time I won't try to cover up anything on my own. I'll leave everything to your judgment. Very well, so it's my turn then. I hate to leave anything half-finished. So no matter what you say, until you've been proven completely innocent, you'll not be getting rid of me. I see. Thank you. Miss, will you grant me one last question of my own? What is it? You are absolutely innocent, I hope. Yes, I haven't done anything that would warrant being put on trial. What I just told you was the pure, honest truth. I won't be hiding anything from you anymore. And that's enough for me. Then shall we resume our investigation? Let's. I'll be settling everything today. Alright, so I don't remember if I gained evidence or not. I don't think so. I've several books stolen from me over the years, but never dolls. But this possibly mean the culprit was also quite taken with your dolls, miss. But it was the culprit who took the dolls instead. Perhaps our thief is a Mobius strip. Michael? Sorry, wrong word. I got excited. That doesn't sound right. I got a little excited. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Milady, I beg of you, we all know I'm nothing without you. Enough already. I want to finally take it easy today. Don't say that. Yesterday's trial was really amazing despite everything. The trial? What are they talking about? Hold it, you two. How long have you been here? Since just a moment ago. I see. And there's no way you heard our secret. What secret? Damn it! Why do I keep doing that? Yeesh, where do I even begin? Look, now is the time. Give up and come clean to these two. Ha. There is a guy giving me all the answers. What on earth are you both talking about? The truth is, I wasn't facing you all by myself in yesterday's trial. Eh? Whatever do you mean? I gave her advice using this. This is one of those yin-yang orbs. What is this strange, squishy appendage that looks like your head, Remilia? It's a radio. No, but it's like, it's got wings. It's like a severed head. It's kind of weird. No, it's a transceiver. It lets me communicate with other people. Why does it look like your head? Why is it like a severed head? Remy, what's wrong with you? This orb was made to allow you to speak with someone even from far away. But then you must have come to court and watched the whole trial. Oh no, I was indisposed yesterday, and getting out of bed would have been far too much trouble. I advised her from my bedroom. I could mostly understand what was happening in court through the orb. I can't believe it. She built up the prosecution's entire case while lazing in bed? And hung over at that. Just thinking back to how I was so completely taken in is making me a bit angry. Listen, Mei Ling, now that our trick has been laid bare, you will have to fight on your own today. No, that's too much! How am I supposed to do this by myself? Enough! Don't you have any pride at all? Can you not do anything on your own? It's because I had no idea what being a lawyer would be like yesterday, but I still did it, didn't I? That vampire over there was the first prosecutor ever, and there was no one to feed her the answers then. You're supposed to be her servant, aren't you? Aren't you ashamed of yourself, needing your master to hold your hand like this? I think that should be more than enough. Mei Ling may not look it, but she is very sensitive. Well, lady, if you won't stand for being treated like this, then defeat her through your own power. You will have your chance to shut that twisted celestial up for good in court today. But for me, that's just... Mei Ling, you've become too used to taking your ease, and now you balk at anything remotely difficult. You will face down the celestial before you. That's an order. Why do they always act like I'm the villain? Well, I can play along. I'll tell you here and now, I won't go easy on you. If you intend to confront me in court, make sure you find your backbone first. A spineless coward will only be crushed under my heel. She actually ran away. Well, she can do as she likes. However, will she really return to the trial? What did I say? It's only that Mei Ling is very sensitive. She'll make up her mind in her own way and return to us. I'm sure of it. And otherwise, she should really not come back today. Should she really not come back today, I will take responsibility and stand in for her. I see. Then I'll look forward to it either way. Hear, hear. But for now, it's about time I finally get an explanation about this whole mess out of her. Oh, jazzy, baby. Finger snaps. Even now, I still don't really know any details about this other incident of yours. Oh my, and were you really planning to head into court in such a starry state? Since the assault on that poisoned doll was what I've been investigating, there was no other way. Anyway, just brief me. You're in charge of this case for the time being, aren't you? I suppose so. Which means it wouldn't be advantageous for me to divulge information to you. However, you did help knock some sense into Mei Ling, so I would like to do you a favor in return. Dear me, I wonder what I should ask for. Fine, here is what we know so far. You were already aware the scene of the crime was the Sansa River, of course. Yes, but I still don't know what happened there. It was a kidnapping of souls. Souls? You steal men's souls! When you say soul, you mean... That's right, Dracula did it. In other words, Ramilia did it. Yes, the kind of soul that leaves the body upon death. There are always many souls waiting on the Sanzu's bank until they can cross the river to receive the judgment of the Yama. And it seems some of them were taken away by someone last morning. A kidnapping of souls? Is that even possible? It is not. Whoa, wait! If it actually wasn't possible, then there wouldn't be any incident! Exactly. That's our main problem yesterday. Souls are immaterial things, so one cannot simply grab them and walk away. And so how did our criminal kidnap these souls? I bet she stuffed them in the dolls. But you arrested Miss Alice, so you must have discovered some sort of means she could have used. Naturally, and that is also the reason the culprit could have not been no one but Alice. Alice and souls. No matter how I think about it, I can't come up with any connection between them. Myeon has been kidnapped and is being held for ransom. By the way, you said something yesterday. Nevertheless, Alice went there alone this morning. Surely you understand what that means. But that's just... And of course, we have evidence now of the decisive kind, you see. Why? So what you call decisive evidence has to be related to how those souls were carried off, right? How very astute of you. Shortly before the trial, you took part in and came to a close. Some extremely unusual evidence was discovered in the Forest of Magic. Unusual evidence. Dolls in a clearing, all clad in blue. What did you just say? Those dolls in blue, they would have to be... Yes, They were without a doubt the dolls that medicine claimed had attacked her. We have already confirmed with the person in question. But how did they end up in the depths of the forest? The poor things fled all the way there, it seems. They were roaming around like a pack of feral animals. It was quite a struggle to round them up. Wait a moment, please. We were told by Miss Alice yesterday that her dolls are incapable of moving by themselves. True, but these dolls were not moving by themselves. They were inside them. Those souls who disappeared from the Sanzu shore. What? Do you understand now how the culprit kidnapped souls of the dead? After being confined inside dolls, they were abducted. And not just any dolls, Alice's dolls. And we now know for a fact that on the morning of the incident, Alice went to the Sanzu River. Thanks to your fine work in yesterday's trial, Celestial. Gah. All of this is what made Alice the prime suspect. On the morning of the incident, all the dolls wearing blue clothes were stolen from Alice's doll room. They were later found in the forest of magic souls when the Sanzu River had possessed them. So it's true, I was the one who cornered Alice. Lady Hina and I. Still, it is regrettable that no one witnessed the moment of the abduction itself. Nobody can provide testimony to prove that there was truly Alice's crime. But in turn, no one can testify that Alice didn't do it. This is where we stand for the moment. That there was no witnesses is our saving grace, but the absence of evidence is also going to be a hurdle. As expected, we'll be going against the headwind once more today. For the time being, perhaps we should discuss it with Miss Alice again. Right, I want to hear a little more about souls and dolls from her if we can. I'm gonna be real with you, chat. I've had enough of souls for at least a month. Hey, there's something I have to ask. What do you need? Is it possible for the soul of someone dead to possess a doll? It is. Since dolls are usually made in the shape of people, they are very susceptible to possession. Cool lore. And a possessed doll could act on its own. Of course. For a soul to possess something is to gain substance and a way to affect the living world. For instance, you must have heard ghost stories about the hair on dolls growing before, right? It appears that souls abducted from the Sanzu River were discovered within your dolls. I see, and it's as I feared. So when you said you felt your dolls being taken over by another will earlier... Pardon me? It must have been because souls possessed the dolls. From that moment on, those girls' bodies became their vessels. Did you start thinking that was what must have happened, even back when you first heard about the incident on the bank of the Sanzu River? I didn't want to believe it, but I had an inkling. I already knew it was easy for dolls and souls to attune, and after the dolls' traces disappeared, it felt like the most logical explanation. And that was why I hurried away from there. Anyone who also realized that would consider me a prime suspect. Well, it all makes sense so far. A mongoose. So let's go to the courthouse office. Typewriter. Why does Aki have a picture of a rock on the her wall? Oh, it doesn't look like the Yama's in. I would expect that as the incident affects her workplace, she must be taking part in the investigation as well. I can gather that much, but I still need to hear what she knows about. Cannot be helped. Let us return later. Yo! Look at that river run through like a mosaic, a fucking... Not a mosaic, like a glass... You know, like a... I don't know how to describe the filter, but it's like looking through one of those... windows at a river. Hey there! You've come to the right place. What now? I'm actually very busy today for once. Oh, don't I know it. It's the same for me. And yet I, for one, wouldn't know if I'm looking at you. How strange. So you have business with me? Well, I wouldn't call it business exactly. You wouldn't? Since I'm so busy, I just wanted to have a chat with you. Alright. Oh. Jeez, pardon me. We might not be in court, but it's clearly a contradiction. It might be, but so what? Humans, yokai, everybody, we're all contradictory beings, you know? Being alive is one big contradiction if you think about it. I think you should spend less time talking about life and more time about doing your job. Anyways, being busy all the time will just wear you down. Don't you feel like blowing out some steam too? Unfortunately, we can't use spell cards today. No, that ain't what I meant. I just want somebody to shoot the breeze with right now. Psh! What's so fun about listening to someone else complain about her life? Idle gossip. So, what did you want to speak of? Oh, so you are interested. Glad to hear it. You talked my ear off even if I said no. Well, let me tell you, it ain't easy being a ferryman. Don't you just have to row your boat back and forth? It ain't all gently down the stream. Strictly speaking, that's true, but just think about it a little. Every single day, I give lifts to dead silent customers and make round trips across the river. Well, dead men tell no tales, or so they say. You ever heard the story of Sisyphus? A coworker from overseas told me about it once. I don't know the story of Sisyphus. What is... Sisyphus? A figure in Homer's Iliad and other Greek, he is reputed to be the founder... Oh, he's the guy who pushes the boulder. Oh, he's the guy who pushes the boulder up the hill. Okay. Sisyphus. Alright. Yes? He's the guy who brought the god's ear down on himself, so he got to roll this huge boulder to the top of a hill as punishment. But the hilltop's so steep, the boulder always rolls back all the way down to the bottom when he gets there. So he just has to start all over again. And he has to keep rolling it, vainly keeping it the same meaningless task for all eternity. Scary stuff, ain't it? Eventually he'll get so jacked he can just pick the boulder up. Well, it's true that up in heaven, boredom is the scariest thing there is, so maybe it's a bit like that. Sometimes I feel like my job is the same thing as the punishment they gave to Sisyphus. No matter how many times I row to the other shore, I always end up back here and start all over again. Every time I'm out there rowing my boat, I'm thinking, is that all there is to my life? You have quite the philosophical bent, miss. No, the truth is she's just sick of her job. Besides, we're at the Sanzu River to begin with, so don't you think the children's limbo would make for a better analogy? Like I thought. You're a good listener, princess. But I feel sorry for him, you know, the souls of little kids endlessly stacking stones around here. So I don't want to make light of what they go through. You are quite the kind-hearted Shinigami, miss. No, she definitely just didn't think of it. And on top of it, the class of soul that's been showing up here has been getting worse lately. She's not listening to me at all. It's a real problem. Souls who don't have much to pay the fare take a while to ferry over. Komachi says this, but we learn in her omake that if you can't pay the fare, she just pushes you into the river. Is that so? It's because the width of the Sanzu changes. It has to be adjusted to match what the passenger paid. The more they can pay us, the narrower the river gets, and vice versa. So all the souls you've gotten lately are paupers. The money a soul has to pay for the crossing has to do with how good a person they were in life. How much would others have been willing to spare for you while you were alive? That's what you end up with here. Yep, we learned that from Komachi's omake as well. Us Shinigami then take all the cash you got and ferry you off to the other side of the river. How much money you end up in the afterlife with is reflects how much people miss you, essentially. So the more money you spend, the less time you have to travel. But I guess if you can't pay, you get pushed out of the boat. Well, Egyptians would do the same, right? They would put 2 coins in the person's eye sockets to pay the ferry with. Greeks believed the dead needed a coin to pay Sharon for his service, so one was placed in the mouth of the deceased. Yeah, and in Egypt they put 2 in the eyeballs. So you haven't been making a profit. That's about it. But still, you can't have good long chats with souls that you don't have much money, so I don't mind it that much myself. Then everything's fine, isn't it? Egyptians had tricks to cheat your way out of judgment? Did they? I mean, the whole mummification process is something. But I thought they were buried specifically with 2 gold coins in their eyes. 1 in each eye, so they could pay the fare. And everything's fine, isn't it? But the other guy still can't say anything back, so it's more like I'm just talking to him. Cheating death is the reason for Sisyphus' own punishment. Oh. Stuff like, don't say more than you need to? What? Isn't that just what they tell you before you get a lawyer? You telling me the ancient Egyptians practiced the art of I'm not talking without a lawyer? All the way back then? Damn. He cheated death by acting as if no one gave him money to pay the toll. How'd they find out? You say that, and yet here you are, not letting me get a word in edgewise. Notes on the ferryman's fare have been added to the court record. The fee to be paid for ferriage across the Sanzu River. Shinigami collect this from the souls and then take them by boat to the other side. Higan. Alright. While we're at it, is there anything else you can tell me about the Sanzu River? Even if you're asking, there ain't really anything fun to do around here, you know. No, I'm asking for the sake of the investigation. Ah, gotcha. You know, you're more of a hard worker than I expected, Princess. If anything, you're the one who's too lax. But even then, it's like I told you before, there ain't much to tell. There's one thing I'm curious about, if I may ask. Could beings such as us come and go across the Sanzu? No, that can't be done. Or rather, it's not possible for someone alive to cross the river without permission. The only ones who can cross the river are us Shinigami. Anybody else would just sink. I wonder how that would work for the sailor from Myoden Temple. Good question. By the way, if you fell in the river, what would happen? I never tried it myself, so I don't know. Hey now. I could boot you in right now if you want to find out. Not on your life. I think the river is really heavy. Like you can't like ascend once you go down. What's up? You interested in ferry work? Not a chance. It sounds terribly boring. Don't be like that. Having a talk with passengers can be a lot of fun. But don't you skip work constantly? Finding something fun doesn't mean you want to do it all the time. I wonder about that. Sorry, not interested. Okay. Ain't that a letter from Aki? Thanks to you, I was dragging all kinds of troubles. Well, even then, it ain't really fair to blame me, right? I just delivered it like I was told. Certainly sure she wasn't the one to pick me. Alright, that might be everything here. Check the courthouse office? Okay. Is that so? I understand. Please resume your survey. Yes, with your permission, I'll be going. Your boss is in. Come to think of it, this may be the first time I've seen you do Yama work, aside from preaching. Oh, Tenshi, I see you found your way here again. You know, one thing I like about this game is the judge is a little more of a character outside of the courtroom, but I also like the Phoenix Wright judge because he is his own character as well. You were very jumpy the last time I visited, but I finally know why. You saw a truly disgraceful spectacle back then. Even then, souls being stolen away isn't something to be taken lightly, I assume. Indeed, this is a serious matter. To keep souls from reaching the afterlife is to disrupt the cycle of transmigration. That is the workings of this world. It is blasphemy in the face of our laws. You say that, but with the lost souls having been found, isn't everything settled now? That is a weight off my shoulders, certainly. However, we must still make the perpetrator understand the gravity of what they have done. The incident cannot be said to have been resolved until they come to pass. Whew, the Yama really does love her sermons. Well then, to ensure that we do find the true culprit, will you tell me all that you know? Yes, I will help you in any way I can. The absolute state of affairs. I was told as much a little while ago by the vampire, but it sounds like no one witnessed the incident. Indeed, and that might be my fault. How in the world could that be your fault? The incident occurred in Shigan. Where? As you must know. Shigan? By that I mean the shore of the Sanzu River one arrives at upon leaving the world of the living. Shigan, huh? And the other side is the shore in the world of the dead, which we call Higan. Huh. But a celestial such as yourself knows all of this already, I'm sure. I have never heard of Shigan. Are you sure? She's referring to the shore, not the riverbank, right? The Sai no Kawara is the riverbank. I never heard of Shigan, though. The shore and the other shore. But the Sanzu doesn't have a shore, it has a riverbank. Or maybe I guess it does have a shore. I don't fucking know anymore, dude. This is the first time I've ever heard of Shigan. Of course I do. I'd only slipped my mind a little. Oh dear, shall we just leave it at that? I suppose we should. They have some nerve. Now, at the time of the incident, there was a window of time where every Shinigami attached to that section of the Sanzu had crossed over to Higan. So no one was on the living side to witness the crime. Exactly. Wait a moment, please. Is that not just a bit odd? What's odd? Please recall what Miss Onozuka told us earlier. It's because the width of the Sanzu changes. It has to be adjusted to match the passengers paid. The more they can pay us, the narrower the river gets, and vice versa. If the river's width changes depending on the passenger, could the Shinigami truly have all ended up with one side at the time by chance? That was due to my own mismanagement. What do you mean? This court system of ours keeps me quite busy, so if the Shinigami keep ferrying souls at their own discretion, they might arrive when I am not available to judge them. So I have tried to establish a set schedule for the ferries, and Shinigami ferry souls accordingly every day during periods in which trials might be held against Sokyo. Taking the changing width of the river into account, I have also placed target fares for the crossings. So the schedule you set created a window of time during which no one was on the living side of the river. Yes, exactly. It would have been around 10 minutes. And this is why you say it was your fault there were no witnesses. It isn't only that. Had there been even one Shinigami on the living side, then this whole debacle might have been prevented. However, it is too late for regrets now. We cannot take back what has already taken place. Yes, quite right. This is why I will go to any lengths to find the truth. For the time being, we can assume the culprit must have known about the timetable ahead of time. It's difficult to believe that they committed their crime while no one was around by coincidence. It was only for 10 minutes after all. I feel the same way, but it still seems impossible. Impossible. The schedule is strictly confidential. Only the ferryman and myself should know about the timetables. Well, a Shinigami could have left theirs lying around. Or maybe they're all beyond reproach, and I thoroughly examined how the documents should be handled to them. Then even the slacker amongst them is beyond reproach in the Yama's eyes. For some reason, my microphone is electrocuting me. Chat, does anyone know why my microphone is electrocuting me? I would appreciate an answer. If it's at all possible, we have to doubt them. Someone such as you, we must also judge impartially no matter what, should understand that. How strange. It is as you say, Tenchi. Haha, I never thought the day would come for you to be lecturing me. It's definitely static, but it's... Why is the static coming from the base of the microphone? And it only affects parts of my hand. Ow! Ow! You bitch! Alright, I'm not gonna touch it anymore. Even the Yama has a soft spot for her minions. The timetable was added. Timetable for the ferryman of the souls. The Yama prepared for Shinigami even set standards to aim all information is top secret. I got electrocuted. Ow! But it's only on my knuckles. My knuckle blast. My front knuckles. I don't know why. How strange. You notice anything after the incident? Let me think. I do not remember anything particularly unusual. I see. But I did have something else on my mind before I heard of the incident. However, it is a personal concern of mine that may not have anything to do with the crime. I'll be the judge of that. Just tell me for now. As I have said, I set a schedule for the Shinigami, and so they should have been ferrying a fixed amount of souls at certain predetermined times. Meaning the number of souls crossing over to Higan that morning had been decided beforehand. Well, that was the reason you made the timetable in the first place, wasn't it? Certainly. But the strange thing is, the number of souls that had crossed over at the time of the incident was less than I had expected. So souls disappeared on that side as well. No, souls could not possibly vanish from Higan without our knowledge. It might be that they failed to cross the river. But could it have been just because souls were kidnapped on the living side? Even the incident on the living side cannot account for a decrease in the number of souls of crossing over. Operations were suspended when we found out about the kidnapping, but the souls who made the trip were already too few at that point. In that case, it might have been unrelated to the incident, as you said. I wonder. Well, let's make a note of it for the time being. Notes on the lack of souls was added to the court record. On the day of the incident, the number of souls that crossed over to Higan was less than the schedule called for. Incidentally, Tenchi. Well, what? It's only... Somehow you give off a strange aura. A strange aura. Pardon me, it may be impolite to say, but I am worried. What is she trying to tell me? What sort of aura is it you feel from the young heiress? I would say it is the scent of the dead. The dead? It might be that something is you're keeping it was possessed without your knowledge. So there's a soul among my belongings. Then perhaps we should let Lady Aki take a closer look at the evidence again for good measure. Alright, we might as well try. Here, peep this. There is nothing I can help you with there, is there? Maybe it's the lost doll? Could you show me that evidence again? I don't mind. As I thought, I could feel the presence of a soul within this doll. So this little one was the source. Now the soul was trapped within this doll as well? Not quite. To begin with, it is impossible to trap souls, who are without substance within an object by force. It must be that souls enter the dolls voluntarily. Why would they do that? The souls of the dead have only one purpose, to cross the Sanzu River. However, those with little to pay the ferry's fare can end up being passed over for a very long time. Though that is also how I have trained the Shinigami, for them to be greedy is to do good. But prioritizing virtuous souls who can pay a high fare, they make the shortest trips and the largest profits. Not good! We veered off into educational philosophy! And what does that have to do with the possessed doll? Excuse me. We seem to have drifted off topic. She could stand to work on how to keep her personal and professional lives separate. The point is, souls with little money to pay the fare will not cross the river easily. So there are always some who try to possess ordinary objects in the hopes that passing Shinigami will pick them up and happen to carry them to the other side. In other words, they're trying to stow away. It is very foolish of them. Even if they possess an object, there is no guarantee a Shinigami will be the one to carry them off. But those steeped in worldly desires sometimes make amusing displays of themselves. And when on earth did a soul get inside this doll? I did not notice it at all. Could it be it already was possessed when we got it from the Shinigami? Now that you mention it, she did say she found this doll on the Sanzu riverbank. In that case, it's very likely it was possessed back then. At any rate, allow me to handle this lost soul myself. Right, if you please. The lost doll was returned to the court record. There is a soul of the dead hiding inside. Alright, I think I got everything. So let's go back to Alice. Yo, Alice, check this shit out. So Komachi found this poor girl at the Sanzu River. I just feel like reverse might be true. I thought you'd have more information. Can't think of anything. Can't think of anything. I can't think of anything. Nothing there. How do I get to the river? Somehow I doubt coming here it's gonna do anything, but it's there, so I'll check it out. Hold still. Let go of me already. You rip it out. Lady Heen and I, there are others inside. What on earth are they doing? Come on, you thief, give it up. Ow, 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 quit pulling my hair. I put a lot of work into making it look nice every morning. What are you two playing at? It's you. Why are you here? I was wondering if there were any clues we hadn't found. What about you? I'm not really sure. I found myself here before I knew it. And you skillfully apprehended that burglar. Yeah, that's what I did. I heard noise coming from the house that should be empty, and when I went to have a look, you found that black thing crawling around. Hey, don't talk about me like I'm some kind of cockroach or something. What's the difference? Youch, you sure don't pull any punches. For now, let's have you explain yourself. So there was something here. The sneak thief. So what were you here to steal? You can't just assume that. What did you come here for then? Case in the joint. What does that mean? Speak English. That's the same thing. Oh, okay, never mind. Leaving that aside, it must be convenient for a thief like you that the owner wouldn't be coming home. You don't get it. I've got that. Gotta get the hair somehow. Hair? Oh, don't worry about it. Personal stuff. Don't act innocent. It must be you who broke in here yesterday morning. Yesterday? Wait, around when you were talking about. Sometime between 8 and 9 in the morning. Then there's no way it could have been me. And why are you so sure about that? I was sleeping in the Hakone Shrine until about 10 o'clock yesterday. You were sleeping? There was a party at Reimu's Shrine the night before. I pretty much drank till I couldn't stand back then. And Reimu was kind enough to let me stay over. So you say you were fast asleep until you woke up around 10 o'clock the next morning? That's it. If you don't believe me, ask Reimu or Suika. Fine, Reimu will probably be coming over to the mansion for questioning today, so I'll make sure to ask her. If that alibi holds up, will you let me know? Sure, I gotcha. If it really is true, then she's off the hook this time. Alright. Still, I didn't think you'd come to a place like this. Yeah, I just ended up here before I knew it. Even if I went to the Sanzu River, I felt like I'd only get in everyone else's way. But I still wanted to find new clues any way I could, and this was the only other place I could think of. And it is a good thing you did. Had it not been for you, this sneak thief would never have been caught. Give me a break. I thought there was no way anybody'd come here today. My, what a shame. Hey, Tenshi. What? Doesn't it scare you? Standing in court? You got dropped into being the defense attorney even though you had no idea what you should do. It is scary. That's the best part! Eh? So you are scared. You people doggedly investigate all you can and arrest a suspect based on the case you built up, right? And so the defense is always in a desperate position. That guilty verdict could fall at any moment. How could I not be scary? My client and I were always at the edge of a cliff. But then why don't you run away? Ha? Run away? Do you really think I, Tenshi Hinanai, would flee in the face of anything? Don't be foolish. What would make others shudder only stokes my excitement. If my opponent is strong, then all the better. The greater the adversity, the greater the thrill. I can't ever feel bored when I'm hanging on for dear life. Isn't it wonderful? The young heiress is truly a glutton for punishment, as you can see. I didn't mean it like that. But if you lose... Stop that. Why are you even thinking about losing? How will I overcome this adversity? Envision success. Envision nothing but success. And when the time comes to turn everything around, you'll never forget that pleasure in your life. To be blunt, the prosecution is clearly at an advantage in today's trial. So what do you have to worry about? Even you should be able to tear me down in these circumstances. At the very least, you were fortunate enough to catch a burglar by pure chance, so you must be in luck today. She's got that right. Just take it from me. But if I was just lucky... In the olden days, it was said that luck is but a byproduct of your true ability. But can I really do it? Don't ask me. Bringing out your potential is up to you. All I can do is push you around until you do. You're actually pretty cool, Tenshi. Why do you feel the need to state the obvious? Such immodesty, but I would expect nothing less from the young heiress of Hinanai. Tenshi, I'm going to face you again. I'll fight you with my own power, and make you watch me win this time. I see. I'll look forward to it. But as I've said earlier, I won't go easy on you. I'd be insulted if you did. Now then, we have little time to waste, so shouldn't we resume the investigation? For now, I'll bring this burglar down to the mansion. Dang, guess I'm not going home just yet, huh? Then I'll be seeing you down there later. Sure, now come on, get moving. Ow, I told you, quit pulling! Now then, shall we also take our leave? Let's. Can I even go to the doll room? Nothing here. Something here. Oh, the Yama's gone. Well, with 2 trials to preside over and an incident in her jurisdiction to investigate, she must be very busy. The Yama has it good. She never has time to be bored. Perhaps you should tell her so when next we meet. No, I think I'll pass on that. I wanted to go back to the river. Shanju River. By now you should already understand the futility of your actions. What you are doing can only give way to doubt and envy. These will weigh against you at the hour of judgment. So cease this at once. What is she doing, talking to herself? It sounds like a sermon. The poor thing. She's gone into lecture withdrawal, reduced to preaching at mud and rocks. You are aware I can hear you, Tenshi. I would be worried if you couldn't. I didn't think you'd have spare time to preach to no one. Aren't you busy today? While that is true, there are those who I cannot simply abandon to their fate. You can't abandon that stack of stones? I meant the one behind the stack. Ah, there's a little soul behind that tower. Could it be that soul of a child? Yes, you are correct. Yeesh, so not even children are safe from that fiend's preaching. Tell me, why do children need your lectures? You see this stack of stones here? They were piled up by this poor soul. But is that a problem somehow? No, there is no meaning to stacking stones, so it can do no harm. Or rather, that is the problem. What do you mean? Simply put, no matter how many stones they stack up, nothing will change. Their hard work benefits no one, least of all themselves. Well, I also often do things to benefit no one. We can discuss your own looming reckoning at a later occasion. Curses! I went and sowed the seeds of a sermon myself. But how could it be a problem if it does no harm? First, allow me to explain why the souls of children build these stone towers here in the first place. As you already know, souls must pay the ferryman's fare to cross the Sanzu River. And the amount of money a soul has to pay that fare depends on the good deeds they performed in life. But if you die as a child, you wouldn't have much time to do good deeds, would you? It is as you said. In short, they have hardly anything to pay the ferry's fare, and therefore crossing the river will prove exceedingly difficult for them. What a pitiful tale. Dying before your parents is a failing of filial piety. It is in and of itself a sin. But what does that have to do with stacking stones? On this bank of the Sanzu River, the children's limbo, souls stack stones they find on the riverbed into towers, in the hope that they will be accepted as a memorial to the parents they could not honor in life. And so they desperately heap up stones again and again. When you put it like this, it sounds as though they've been doing is quite laudable. As I have said, no matter their intentions, stone stacking is meaningless, and it will never help them cross the river. On the contrary, these children will inevitably forget their purpose of honoring their parents, and come to believe that if their tower grows to be tall enough, they will be able to climb it like a stairway to heaven. This sort of delusion will only lead the soul to be tainted by desire and hesitation. Surely you already know what would come next. I see. But if it's so pointless, why won't they stop? While it may only be a false hope they blindly believe in, it is never easy for anyone to let go of their one lifeline. For most of those left lingering here, there is next to no hope to be found in the next life. Then maybe someone should do something about it. Yeah, it's pretty awful, but that's how it is. It's really mysterious. How could this have happened? I feel like the answer might be more obvious than you think. I'll have to hurry and revise the schedule once this is all over. For that to happen, we'll need to find the culprit. Yes, quite right. The money of the souls away for the sons of the river will have their hand determined by the good deeds they did in life. Those who squandered their lives hoarding material wealth through all manner of wrongdoing are often very surprised to find themselves penniless after death. Therefore, you must always strive to do good throughout your lifetime. Ah, I understand, so let's focus on the incident for now. Do forgive me, force of habit. Whew, I can't let my guard down around her. Alright, so let's try the holding cell? The parlor? I know you too early to be asking me of anything. What a self-important brat. Whoa, hello, Pot. Have you met Kettle? How strange. I seem to be missing something. I guess it's involved a key. I think there was a soul inside us. Objects that imitate the shape of living beings are particularly easy for spirits to possess. Even though they are now souls, I believe they find comfort in possessing something that resembles that being they used to be. I wonder what that's like. So I thought it was the right decision to turn to you. I'm not so sure about that. It's unlike you to be so modest. I still feel like I'm the least suited to be a defense attorney, even now. I could not disagree more, but I suppose we'll have our answer in court today. Nothing they can help you with there, is there? Nope. 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 Whoops. So this is that little one stone stack. You know, I just barely noticed that in the corner of my eye. That looks a little different, so I think I got it. Correct. But do souls often pile up stones here alone? From what I can remember, this child was also stacking stones here yesterday morning. Yesterday morning? Yes, it seems they have begun waiting for times when no Shinigami can see them to stack stones. Wait a minute, a time no Shinigami were around? Yes, I understand. That would have been the time of the crime. Then maybe they saw the kidnapper. Leaving them aside, many other souls could have seen the culprit, but they cannot testify. Why? Souls of the dead do not speak. You could not possibly get them to give assent, but nothing keeps them from lying. Where's Orin? Call Orin. But wouldn't you see through their lies easily? Certainly, but would that truly make for a fair trial? It would be testimony only I can understand. That's true. It might not hold up as evidence. Still, but as the Yama, you wouldn't ever lie yourself. That is an entirely different story, and inadmissible in a court of law. Seriously? Why does she have to be so stubborn about the stupidest things? Hold a moment, please. Is something wrong, Iku? This child's soul was here stacking stones yesterday, you said. But when we came to this place earlier today, there was no stone stack in sight. Apparently the tower this child built here yesterday was knocked over before any Shinigami returned. Knocked over? Yes, and so they are starting over again today. But who could have done this? No one save Shinigami should have come to this beach. The only person that comes to mind is Alice, for now. The Sanzu stacked stones. On the morning of the incident, the soul of a child piled up these stones while no Shinigami were around, but they were knocked over by someone anyway. All worldly things are truly transitory. I didn't read that word right at all. Alright. Check these rocks. I can't think of anything. No? Okay, there we go. But my rocks! Oh, it's you. Ah! It's the scum from yesterday! And a good day to you as well, Miss Medicine. You seem to be in high spirits today. Yeesh, seems she won't bother acting cute anymore. I won't ever forgive you. You really should have known better than to lie to me, you demonic dummy. Who do you think you are, you fallen angel? Now, please do not make a scene, you two. Sure, I was lying when I saw Alice back then, but that doesn't change what she did with her dolls. That puppeteer is getting what's coming to her today, one way or the other. I know it's going to be a pain, but I should probably still hear what she has to say. Talk to me, Krebs. You're saying that what Alice's dolls did to you is also her fault, but wasn't she proven completely innocent in the trial yesterday? I know that already, but it doesn't matter. Alice will be found guilty today. Why do you seem so certain? Alice stole souls from the Sanzu and put them in dolls, didn't she? And then those dolls ran wild and attacked me. That was what really happened. So how about you sue the souls and leave Alice alone? Don't screw with me! Using those dolls to trap souls was Alice's crime. And if I was attacked by them as a result, then that makes it Alice's crime too! I'm sure of it now. She hates everyone in general, but she hates Alice in particular. If that's all, I'll be on my way. I don't want to be near Alice any longer than I have to. As I thought, she does not seem very fond. She does not seem very fond, Miss Alice. You missed a word. Well, it would make perfect sense for a self-proclaimed doll liberator to see a doll user as her arch-nemesis. Oh, Tenchi, you're here. Ah, Mei-ling, are you done looking into Marissa? Yeah, seems she really didn't steal anything this time, so we let her go for today. I see. And that alibi of hers. I confirmed with Reimu, everything was like Marissa said after all. In that case, it could not have been Miss Kirisame who stole these dolls. No doubt about it. Yeesh, there goes one escape route, slamming shut in our faces. I'm sorry. No, why are you apologizing to me? Because... Did you forget? You and I are enemies. If you can't take that to heart, you won't be able to fight me in court. That's right. Okay. I have high hopes for you, miss. The young heiress has become so rambunctious lately. It's been driving me to despair. So hold nothing back in court and beat her senseless. Whose side are you on? Beat her senseless, huh? I'll do my best. Now, the trial of Sho Toramaru will be resuming soon. So how about it? Will you accompany us to the hearing? Using Patchouli as a reference might be helpful to you. Oh, I guess so. You'll be there too, Tenchi. Well, I also want to watch that Tengu's performance and see if maybe I learned something. So it is settled. Then let's be off to court. Now, chat, I hate to do it to you, but I gotta stop. Now, I honestly and truly thought that investigation day would take no more than 20 minutes. I truly thought this. It's been 55 minutes. This court day is going to go on for, at minimum, an extra hour. And that's assuming that I don't get stumped by anything. So, yeah. Pushing it, to say the least. So, that's a really short, really short. Really short. Really short. Yeah, I have to... Normally, the investigation second day isn't that bad. But I guess since this time it's technically a whole new incident, it's longer. I didn't even consider that. But yeah, I thought maybe I could do it all in one go there, but that's okay. That's fine. It happens. That's the first half of the second half. So, like, more like the third half, I suppose. I think my OBS just froze. Or at the very least, the audio reading has completely stopped. But yeah, I'll finish the case. Probably tomorrow, honestly.